के डाल दो।
हाँ मैं हटा देता हूँ।
Hi Lata, good evening. Sorry, good morning. How are you doing? Lata, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, doctor. We can hear you.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good, good. How are you, doctor?
I'm doing really well. Thank you. We will wait for some more time and then we will get started.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hi Shahana, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, ma'am. How are you? I'm good. Thank you.
I'm doing really well. Thank you. Okay, we'll just wait for some more time and then we'll get started. Hi Priya, good morning. How are you doing? Can you hear me, Priya? Great. We'll just wait for a couple of more minutes and then we will get started. Great. Hi, Kritika. Good morning. How are you doing? Okay. Hi, Jakteshwari. Good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, ma'am. Good, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing really well. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Kritika. Hi, Saptami. Sorry. Hi, Saptami. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Vishali. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, ma'am. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you. Hi, Shrutika. Good morning. How are you doing?
Hello, ma'am. I'm doing fine. Thank you. Same here.
Great. Thank you. Everyone, please go back to being mute so that we maintain the session structure. Thank you. Hi, Shri Snigdha. Good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, ma'am. I'm doing fine. Thank you. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing really well. Thank you. Hi, Ashish. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, ma'am. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Okay. In the meantime, I would love to know from everyone what degree have you done and what are you currently doing quickly in the chat box. What degree have you done and what are you currently doing? Quickly in the chat box. Actually, not in the chat box. Let's do it on the WhatsApp group. The webinar WhatsApp group that you all are a part of, please do it there. Or whatever group that you are a part of, any group, right? Any non-clinical career guidance group, plus webinar group that you are a part of, please type in on the WhatsApp group, what degree have you done and what are you currently doing? Can we all do that? What degree have you done and what are you currently doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we have got BNYS graduate, BDS graduate, BDS graduate. Again, I want everyone to be very quick. What degree have you done and what are you currently doing? Okay, Lata has done BHMS. Again, BDS. BDS currently into clinical practice. BDS working as an associate dentist. I want everyone to type in what degree have you done and what are you currently doing on the WhatsApp group that you are a part of. If you're a part of webinar group, great. If not, any group that you are a part of, career guidance group that we run, please type in what degree have you done and what are you currently doing. What degree have you done and what are you currently doing? Great. We have more BDS, BMS, BDS, BDS transitioning into medical affairs. We have another BDS. What degree have you done and what are you currently doing? Great. Awesome. Since we are on time, we will get started. Let's do a quick poll. We all have joined this session because we have an intent to make this career transition possible. Yes or no? Quickly in the chat box, here on the Google Meet itself, we have an intent to make this career transition possible, and hence we are here. Also, we are not able to navigate it so far. We need some level of help. We need some level of guidance or something in the whole process of career transition that we are not able to figure out. We are not able to make this transition possible, but we really intend to make this transition possible. So how do you do that, right? But before we say that this is what I want to do, we also need to understand where are we in our journey so far. Are you feeling completely lost because we don't understand what happens in non-clinical landscape? Or second is that you are aware of all the non-clinical job roles, but you are exploring those roles. Third is that you have explored all the job roles and now you know which is the right fit for you. Fourth is you have prepared for the job role really well. You have your resume in place. You have your all the courses that you need to do. You have everything in place and you are actively applying. And last stage is that you are actively interviewing for these kind of job role, not the specific target job role. Out of all these options, A, B, C, D, E, I want everyone to respond on the WhatsApp group. Again, any WhatsApp group that you're a part of, which is the right stage that you are at in your journey so far? What is the stage that you are at? Just actively applying would be applicable when you know which is the right role for you. Not using a wrong resume and applying to all possible non-clinical job roles. Actively apply will only be applicable when you know your target role. Do you know what roles are there in non-clinical landscape and do you know which is the right role for you? And then you have done the preparation and then you have started applying. Again, think and then respond. On the WhatsApp group, I don't want anyone to respond in the chat box. I want everyone to respond on the WhatsApp group. I want everyone to respond on the WhatsApp group. Great, we have got a lot of Ds. Everyone who has written a D, can you also please type in what is the right non-clinical job role for you? Everyone who has opted D, please let me know what is the right non-clinical job role for you. Medical advisor and MSL. Okay, great. Let's try to understand what are the gaps that we have in this career transition. Again, we are here because we want to make this transition to a non-clinical job role. And there are multiple reasons, right? Multiple reasons because of which we are not happy where we are in a clinical landscape. But at the same time, why do we want to make this shift? But why we are not able to make this shift as well, right? A, there's so much misinformation that we have on the internet that we don't know how do we actually get access to right information. B, college has never taught us anything. At this point in time, we don't know what happens in non-clinical landscape and we don't know what is the right way also to access this information. And because of this, there's so much confusion. But all of these problems are happening only and only because of lack of information. I'll explain what do I mean by lack of information, right? And because of all these problems, because of lack of information, because of lack of guidance, because college has never prepared us, because we don't know how do we navigate this career transition, what we end up doing is we're doing it in the wrong way. We start saying that, okay, I'll do one course and then I will build my resume and then I'll start the application process. Or worse, what we do is we build one clinical or non-clinical resume and use that resume to start applying for all possible non-clinical job roles, hoping that something would work without even knowing what is a right fit for me, without even knowing what role means, without even knowing on what basis interviewer would evaluate us, we go ahead and start the whole application process with one resume. Also, we don't understand how do we build that resume, and then we feel disheartened that nothing is working out. We take months and months to go ahead and start the application process. We just keep on applying, nothing works out, and then we feel disheartened. We say that, okay, maybe I am not the right fit for it. Do you think this is what we are doing? Yes or no, quickly on the WhatsApp group. Do you think you're using the same resume to start applying for all the non-clinical job roles? And at the same time, do you think your resume is 100% optimized as well? Is that what you are doing? You are using one resume and you're applying for all non-clinical job roles, hoping that something would work. But nothing is working out. And the reason nothing is working out, because we are not doing it in the right format. But now the question comes, what is the right format? And for the right format to understand, we need to understand this roadmap. Take a screenshot of this roadmap, and you will have to come to this roadmap every day in your career transition journey. Until and unless you don't do it, you will not be able to make this transition. Again, very good example that I give to my fellows as well is, the idea is that I want to lift 100 kgs in my gym, right? We all want to work in a job role where there is a great work-life balance, where I can work remotely as well, where I can earn 1 lakh rupees per month. And again, asking for 1 lakh rupees per month is not a huge ask as well, right? We have these skills. We want to lift 100 kgs, but we are not ready to put in efforts to go from 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 kgs. We want to keep on thinking in our head that one day some opportunity would come to me and they will give me a job which would pay me 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees per month. But are we doing anything except using a wrong resume to apply for these kind of job roles? Or except for how do we randomly do any course which is not even aligning to the job role, except that we don't even understand which is a right fit for me and keep on applying the whole process? Think, do you think without building that muscle, you will be able to 100 kgs? Take this final getting an offer letter as 100 kg, right? That day you will be able to lift 100 kgs. But do you think you are going to the gym, you are using the right techniques, you are following your diet plan as well, and then only it will happen? What should be the right career roadmap? First, you should be available of, or you should be able to know about all the possible non-clinical job roles. Quickly on the WhatsApp group, how many non-clinical job roles that you are aware of? I'm not even asking that you know anything in depth, etc. Just number of non-clinical job roles that you are aware of, and then you will start understanding the knowledge gap that I have been talking about. How many non-clinical job roles that you are aware of? Just number. I'm not asking you for the name. I'm not asking you for anything else. Just pure play number. How many number of non-clinical job roles that you are aware of? Any WhatsApp group that you're a part of, go ahead and type in your response. I want everyone to respond. Just number of non-clinical job roles that you are aware of. I'm not even asking you the name. Okay, 4, 5, 10, 12. This number is 70, 70, not 17. That number is 70. Do you see a gap? Even if you know 20 opportunities, there are 50 more roles that we can get into. And that is a huge, huge career gap. Now, my second question is, out of all the roles, let's say you know 1, 2, 5, 6, 10, 12. How many of these roles do you understand in depth? And what I mean by depth is that I ask you right now to unmute yourself and explain the role thoroughly, everything about the role in terms of structure, in terms of interview, in terms of preparation, in terms of HR round, technical round, assignment round, courses, everything with respect to the role that you can explain to 35 of us on this call today. For how many roles you have this kind of clarity? And be honest. I have built my career. I don't really care, right? I have built my career. I understand everything about my landscape. I know everything. Be honest. Be very, very honest. This is for you to make this transition. This is a learning space, so there's no judgment at all. We all started from there itself. Be very honest with yourself. Be 100% honest. Everyone who is saying 1, 2, 1, 2, I'm going to ask you as well. Each and every role, do you know that you can explain it to 100 other people right now? I'm going to genuinely ask you to do that as well. Be honest with yourself. Okay. First gap is that we are only aware of certain opportunities, that is just 10 and 20% of it. But there are over 70 plus non-clinical job roles that we can get into. Second gap is we don't understand any of these non-clinical opportunities in depth. We just don't understand any of these opportunities in depth. Until and unless you don't understand the role in depth, on what basis you will be able to crack the interview? Because recruiter is going to evaluate you whether you are going to do this particular job well or not. But since you don't know the job, how do you make them or make, interviewer understand that you are a right fit for it? And that is a huge gap. First, not knowing any role, all the roles. Second is not knowing these roles in depth. And third, the most important is not knowing which is a right fit for me. And not just because my friend is doing PV and I can also do PV, but you genuinely understand how this role is going to work out in next 5 years with AI, with growth, what is the salary, what is the work-life balance, right? I want everyone, again, to be very honest. Do you know which is a right non-clinical job role for you? Quickly in the chat box, not on the chat box, on the WhatsApp group, yes or no? And again, be very, very, very honest. It's a learning space for all of us. Please be very honest that I know which is a right fit for me or I don't know, right? Very honest. Again, we have these gaps because college has never taught us. It's not our mistake. No one taught us. Everyone taught us how to be good at clinical. No one taught us how to be good at non-clinical. So we are navigating it on our own. And somehow our ego also comes in, right? Somehow we feel that, okay, if I say that I don't know anything, people might feel differently or maybe other people know. But trust me, we all don't know. No one knows. Trust me on this. And I have worked with more than 500 fellows in last 1 year. No one knows. Great. We don't know which is the right fit for us. Then how do we prepare for the role? If I don't know what is the role that I want to go ahead with, then how do I bridge the gaps where we are right now and what it takes to be there? How do I build my resume? Do we know that which is aligning to the job role? Quickly, now just yes, no, quickly on the WhatsApp group. Do we know how do we build a resume for the role that we want to apply for? And again, I want everyone to be very active, very quick. Second, do we know how do we optimize my LinkedIn profile for networking? Third, do we know how do we do actually networking? What does networking mean? Do we know how do we get a referral? How do we reach out to recruiters? How do we send a cold email? Do we know any of these basic things in place? Just because we don't know the role, do you know what is the course or what is the kind of upskilling that you need to do for that particular job role? Do you know how do you upskill yourself for that particular job role? And not with the paid resources, with the free resources. Do you know, as basic, how does the interview process works for the role that you want to get into? How many rounds are there? What to expect? How do you prepare? Do you know how do you prepare for the interview that you want to get into? And be very, very honest with yourself. Do you know how do you navigate Google Workspace? How do you manage your calendar? How do you communicate professionally? Google Docs, Google Sheet, Google Meet. Do you know how do you navigate these basic tools as well that recruiters are expecting from you from day zero? Do you know how to make a presentation during an interview process on the go while recruiter is sitting there on the session itself, in the meet itself, and they have given you 30 minutes to build a presentation? Do you know how do you build a portfolio? Do you know how do you write a cover letter? Do you even know what is a cover letter and why do we need it? If we don't know these kind of things, then how would we be able to make this transition with having these many gaps? Once we understand the role, once we decide the role, we need to prepare for the role, we need to prepare for the interview, and then only we will be able to make this transition possible. That is the only right way. Please take a screenshot of this, put it in your room, actually above your working desk or your study table, put it there, and then keep on looking at it every day. Write your offer letter is 100 kg lifting in the gym, rest everything else is building muscle. You will only get to 100 kg when you have built a muscle for 100 kg. Do you think today you have built the muscle to lift 100 kgs? And in this context, it's about have you built a muscle to actually get an offer letter? Do you think you have bridged all the gaps? And again, be very honest with yourself. Yes or no, very, very quickly on the WhatsApp group. Do you think you have built that muscle? And if no, primarily it is because of lack of information, and secondly it's because of lack of guidance, because no one told us how do we do that. Now talking about me, I have been giving a lot of gyan that do this, do that, etc, etc, but what have I done? I'll give you a glimpse of my LinkedIn profile so that you understand. Also happy to share my LinkedIn profile as well. This is how my LinkedIn profile looks. I am a dentist by education. I have done my BDS from Santosh University. After that, I made a transition to a product management role. After that, I worked with Tata Trust as an intern. I worked with a couple of other organizations as an intern. And then I made a transition to product management. Product management in general, it's a really high-paying job role. But quickly tell me on the WhatsApp group, do you know what product managers do? Do you even have an understanding of the role, what product managers do? Again, be very, very honest. I also did not know that. Then I worked in, again here, I worked in a logistics space. Then I worked in an agriculture space. Then I worked in a climate tech space. Then I worked in a women preventive healthcare space. Then I worked with National Health Authority. And now I'm building a fellowship program where we provide this guidance, because I understand how difficult this whole career transition feels. And hence we provide this guidance in the best of our capacity. We keep on organizing these kind of sessions. But do you know what product managers do? Do you know the starting salary for a product manager role? Give me a number. What do you think is the starting salary for a product manager role? $35K, no idea. When I made a transition to product management 6 years back, my salary was 10,60,000 rupees per year. But again, think this is, I'm saying that you have built a muscle to lift 100 kgs. Do you think you have that muscle, or you want to build that muscle to reach there? That is a question that you need to ask. Do you all want to build that muscle? Do you all want to follow this? Do you all want to know what it takes or learn what it takes to make this transition possible? Do you have an intent, or do you want to actually make this transition possible? Yes or no, quickly on the WhatsApp group. Like I said, step number 1, did you know there are over 70 plus non-clinical job roles? Most of you, not most, all of you have said no. Second is, again, you can start taking screenshots. There are some of the roles that we have just listed. Some of the roles, I have not even listed all 70 plus. These are some of the roles that we have listed. These are the roles that we can take up. There's a second slide. There's a third slide. Do you know there's a role called Chief of Staff? Were you even aware of the name of this role? Yes or no on the WhatsApp group? I am aware, unaware. Just write aware, unaware. Let's change the terminology also. If you're not aware of something, then how do you make a transition into that space? Right? If you don't even know that there is a city, let's say named Delhi, then how do you actually go and visit that city? How do you actually decide whether you want to live in Delhi or not? I took an example because I live in Delhi. Again, more roles. Again, more roles. Anyone? Do you know what prompt engineering is? Everyone is talking about that. Okay, I want to work in AI. I see so many people reaching out to me saying that I want to work in healthcare AI, right? Do you even know what is prompt engineering? Aware, unaware? We need to, and this is the most basic thing that we need to learn in AI. Most basic. I'm not even saying advanced. This is the most basic thing that we need in our day-to-day life to become more efficient. If we don't know these kind of things, then again, how do we think that we will be able to lift 100 kgs? Because we keep on thinking about it in our head, but we are not taking any action to materialize it. We are not taking any action to say that, okay, I know what it takes to build that muscle, and I will go to, the right gym. I will again take the right course. I will get the right kind of guidance. I will get a personal trainer. I will get a group classes. But someone has to teach you, similar to how college taught you clinical skills. Again, it might feel that Tashu is saying some random things, right? Tashu is saying that there are so many roles, but I don't believe, because I have never seen it. Let's see these roles, because people are actually doing it. We are wondering whether we can make this transition possible. We can't make this transition possible. This is for me, this is not. There are so many questions that we have in our head, but those questions are actually 1010, 1020, not 1020, 108, 109 or 107 kind of questions. At this point in time, my 101 is also not covered. I don't even know how many roles are there. I don't even know which is the right fit for me. And we have started self-rejecting ourselves already. That it's really, really, really difficult. It's not. Trust me, I have made this transition possible, and it's not that difficult. I understand that it feels difficult. And the only reason it feels difficult is because we don't have access to right information. And second, we don't have access to right guidance. And because of that, it feels very, very difficult. Again, a lot of profiles of healthcare graduates who have made transition into scientific medical writing, regulatory medical writing, content medical writing, again, working in a managerial roles in medical writing, UX UI designer. Do you know what UX UI designers are? Are you aware what UX UI designers are? What do they do? Unaware. Again, this person is also a dentist, became a UX UI designer. You can work in clinical research operations, again, multiple roles in clinical research operations, TMF specialist. Again, you can work in strategy consultancy. You can work as a professor with Akash, with Alan, with Physics Wala, these kind of organizations. You can work in pharmacovigilance, again, multiple role names in pharmacovigilance itself. You can work as a biostatistician. You can work as a business analyst. You can work as a data analyst. You can work in clinical data management. You can work as an HEOR. Again, these are all data related job roles. Again, as a medical data analyst, you can work as a medical legal consultant as well. You can work in marketing. You can work in, I will come to all the questions, Ashish. You can post in your questions. I will take a break and then you will be able to ask all the questions. You can again wait till the end of the session so that you also get free resources to all different job roles and all the free courses that you can also do. And that will only be shared with the participants who will stay till end of this session. Great. In marketing, even within marketing, digital marketing, social media marketing, performance marketing, you can work in operations, you can work in HR, you can work in, again, as a part of marketing, social media management, you can work in international sales. There are so many different kind of sales as well. B2B, inside sales, right? You can work as a medical reviewer, you can work as a product manager, then project manager, then program manager. Do you know the difference between project manager, program manager, and product, project, and program? Do you know the difference? Quickly on the WhatsApp group. And be very, very honest. Again, chief of staff, business development, in public health, even in public health, grant writing is a role, monitoring and evaluation, policy advocacy. There are so many roles that we can take up, but we don't know. Again, you can work with ICMR kind of organizations. You can work in medical science license, you can work in EMR, EHR, you can work in hospital management, you can work in clinical documentation. And this is underwriting in insurance space, again in insurance space, as a data scientist, as an investment analyst. Do you know what is the role of an investment analyst? This is a really, really high paying job role. Are you aware of this? Are you aware of this? Okay, unaware. After learning about all these roles in depth, then only decide what is the kind of direction, what is the kind of role that you want to choose for yourself. For me, my metric was clear. I wanted to work in a tech role because technology is changing so fast. Second, I wanted to work in a role where I'm growing, right? And intellectually, I'm also very much growing. And third is I wanted to get a job role which pays the best. I was as clear as that. Because, and another thing was, I also wanted to work in a job role which will tell me or teach me entrepreneurship in general as well. How do you think about building a business? And because at an end of the day, I wanted to build a business 5 years, 10 years down the line. And today I am running a business of this guidance only, right? Choose the right role. Existing, what are your interests? What are your existing strength? What is the market demand? What is the salary potential? What is the life fit? Based on the role only, then you need to prepare. You can't prepare for medical affairs role and product management role and apply with the same resume, do the same upskilling, think that I will be able to crack the interview with the same level of upskilling. That will not happen. Same for medical writing, you have to prepare separately, for consulting separately, for clinical research separately, and for different health tech roles separately. Again, you also have to build these skills. How do you communicate? How do you think? How do you structurally think? How do you position yourself? What is the kind of confidence that you have? How do you quickly solve a problem, right? Everything really, really equally matters. And again, because we have only been trained to work in a clinical setup where we talk just one-on-one with primarily with our patients, these are also the skills that somehow we also need to learn, right? And again, after deciding the role, after bridging everything, we still need to do the basic thing of doing the professional networking, increase the visibility, getting referrals, getting interviews, and then only we will be able to make this transition. Having a strong LinkedIn. Do you think you have the right LinkedIn in place for a right non-clinical job role today? Again, on the WhatsApp group, yes or no? You, and don't write yes or no, right LinkedIn, wrong LinkedIn for the role. Right LinkedIn you have or the wrong LinkedIn profile you have? Quickly on the WhatsApp group. Wrong LinkedIn. And I want everyone to be very quick, very, very quick. This is just the morning. And then, do you know how do you ask for a referral? Do you know how do you prepare for the interview? For the interview, you need to understand the role. You need to understand what kind of questions that can be asked. Prepare for those questions. Different questions will be asked in HR, technical and assignment round. Prepare those questions and then only understand what is working and what is not working. Now, how do you make all of this possible? Right? There's so much that we need to do, and there's so much that no one has taught us. Then how do we do that? For the same, we run a career guidance program. A career guidance program where everything we have discussed, exactly that is being followed. Everything that we have discussed will exactly be followed, and then you will get a guidance till you make this transition possible. Before I talk further about the fellowship program, let's hear from some of the fellows who have done the fellowship program, right? Because these are the best people, because they have invested their time, money, and everything into this fellowship program, right? Again, what made them join this and how their experience has been. And again, they're not being paid to do this session, to join this session. They volunteered to be here. So I would love to know from Vidhi first. Hi, Vidhi. Good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, ma'am. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you. Let's hear it from Vidhi. Vidhi has just graduated last week. And before she graduated, she was able to manage to get multiple opportunities in pipeline as well. So Vidhi, what made you join the fellowship program? What all did you learn in the fellowship program? And where are you right now? Just in a span of 8 weeks.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. I would like to tell this. This was just a call that I had with you. And this session, like all the fellows are attending, I attended the same session. And I find it very promising to have a platform that will train me from learning the skills till interview. So it was not even a single thought. I wanted to join it. And by the end of 2 months, I would be able to learn the skills that is needed for the transition. I learned about different job roles that exist beyond the PBA medical affairs. There are many high paying roles that we have no idea about it. And also the right kind of guidance that you have provided through each week, each session has helped me to develop a new skill that is needed for particular role. Along with that, I would say it is applied for everyone. Everyone has discovered new side of themselves that is needed for that transition. And it is all because of the platform that you have created. Every one of us has developed a new perspective regarding the healthcare transition and a confidence, I would say. Like coming from a clinical background, we are very hesitant toward asking help for referral as well. Optimizing LinkedIn, all those things are very sounds horrible to a person who just attends clinic and goes to clinic, meet patient, that's it. I don't know, I have seen life beyond that. But through this 2 months of journey, I have learned about optimizing LinkedIn, asking for referral, attending interview. Like I feel this is the platform where you are helping us from learning skills to optimizing LinkedIn. You see the projects that interviewer asked us to make. You look at our CV before applying. So it is a journey kind of thing. It is not just a single thing that you are providing the resources and it's on you, do it. No, you train us through that transition. You are there in that transition, no matter what. Like I have reached at you at midnight and you have replied. So it's something that beyond, I can't explain. Like the money you are taking and the help you are giving, it is beyond, I would say. People are charging huge thing for this transition and you're just there. So it is a complete ecosystem that you have built, a platform where we can learn, share things, learn skills. So it is a complete thing, I would say.
Great.
And through the end of 2 months.
Yes, I just want to also want you to share the all the pipelines, all the
yes,
things,
sir. I actually get overwhelmed while talking about NCDF actually because it has given me so much. So by the end of 2 months, so I got 3 opportunities. I had 3 interviews with for 3 different roles that I wanted to apply. One is a really high paying founders office role. I'm waiting for the offer letter. Also, another is the fellowship that I am in pipeline with. So yeah, I never thought 2 months will with consistent efforts I'll get this much of success. Again, I have not figured it out, ma'am, but definitely by your side, I'll do something.
Great.
So NCDF has given me that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vidhi, for sharing your experience and taking out time to join this session as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Any question anyone has, please type in down all the questions on the WhatsApp group so that we can address all your questions. Next thing is, we are also running a discount of 1,000 rupees off by 12:30 p.m. Again, I'll just talk a little bit more about the program so that you gain more clarity. This is the kind of salary structure that we have been able to get. Average salary comes to 6 to 8 lakh rupees. Again, these are the kind of organizations where fellow have been working. Again, getting a remote job is completely a possibility. Getting into, again, different CROs is a possibility. Again, working in a remote role is a possibility. Working as a medical advisor with Dr. Reddy's kind of a job is a possibility. Working as medical editor. I have around 190 offer letters. I can keep on showing you everything. It's an 8-week long program where we have sessions over the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. And during weekdays, we connect for one-on-one personalized guidance call. Even after 8 weeks, one-on-one guidance is there till you make the transition possible. And next batch is starting tomorrow from 2 p.m. And everyone who would like to go ahead, join the program, there's a QR code that you can scan. Please, Mayank, share it on the WhatsApp group or the WhatsApp group. There's a special discount running for 1,000 rupees off only for the participants who are there in this session. You can scan the code and share the screenshot on the WhatsApp group. 6,999 would be the final amount that you need to pay. In case you need any extension with respect to time, etc., anything at all, please type in, please send me a message directly. We will have a conversation. If money is a huge problem, right, please let me know. We will figure out a way to make this possible for you. Again, if you have an intent to make this transition possible, we are all in for this. But this is the QR code. Again, I'm sharing the website link in the chat box and also on the WhatsApp group. Next, we have Akansha with us. Hi, Akansha. Good morning.
Hi, Tashu. How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
Okay. Yeah, I am good. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
So, hello everyone. I know you are at which position right now, and believe me, I was at the same position like not more than a year back. So I can totally understand what all of you are feeling at this point. I have been in clinical practice since 10 years, and like I left clinical practice just 2 months back. And along with that, I got placement while I was like having this 2 months program. I was a fellow of August batch, and I got the placement before even the fellowship ended. Although it was a part-time role at that time, but right now I am working with a company, Krynos AI, and yeah, I am quite satisfied with my journey, and whatever like I have achieved right now, it's because of the guidance that I have received from this fellowship. So I will say that you should definitely join it, because I know like as a clinical practitioners, we do not have any idea how this market works, right? Tashu is the right person. She can guide you about everything, starting from making a LinkedIn profile, like making a good resume, how to approach, how to prepare for interviews, everything will be covered. And she's such a great person. Like I got the placement, but still whenever I feel that yes, like I may have a new opportunity, or like I need her guidance, I still reach out to her. So I will say, yeah, you should go ahead without any doubt. Yeah, and you should proceed with this fellowship program.
Great. Thank you so much, Akansha, for sharing
Yeah.
that. And congratulations on also transitioning into a full-time
Yeah. Thank you so
non-clinical
much.
job role.
Yeah,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you for taking out time and sharing your
Yeah,
experience.
thank you.
Let's
Bye.
move to
everyone.
bye-bye. Let's move to Aarti. Aarti, we would love to know your journey with the fellowship program. How did you join the program, and what all did you learn, and where are you right now?
Hi, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So, I'm Dr. Aarti. I'm a dental surgeon by profession. I'm a BDS graduate. So, I was working in clinics since 4 years, and so I wanted to make a transition from my clinical sector to a non-clinical sector. So my biggest confusion was like where to start and how to start. So one day, like I was going through the like randomly, I was just scrolling through LinkedIn, and then I go to know about the fellowship, and I thought I'll just attend one session with Tashu ma'am, because it was 7 o'clock. The webinar was there, so I joined and I spoke to her. I thought I'll get some guidance from that. This is what I thought in the beginning. So trust me, guys, if you are joining this program, you will get a clear idea. Like you will now, everyone are in a like confused state, because I was also in that state. I can say exactly during the January, February time of this year. Now it is August, and that is totally different. Like I can see a lot of difference in myself only. So after joining the fellowship, what I can say is like I got a clear idea like what all the jobs are available, because I didn't have an idea about like the generalist roles, like this founder's office, chief of staff, those kind of jobs. I haven't even heard about those things and all. And currently I'm working in a founder's office job only. I'm a product analyst and medical writer in a pharmaceutical company, and I'm so happy. And the another thing I learned from this fellowship, I would say how to make proper resumes. Like what I was doing before the fellowship, I was randomly applying for all the jobs which I'm seeing on LinkedIn and Naukri with the same resume that I have used for my dentist job role. So it is kind of ridiculous thing. So those things I've learned from the fellowship. And then the another thing, like how to optimize the LinkedIn profile and how to connect with people and ask for referrals, opportunities, and everything that I've learned. And the another thing is like during the interview preparations, like and anything, if you want to ask any silly doubts also, Tashu ma'am will be available for all the time. And this office hours is there, but sometimes the office hours will be like completely booked and all. Maybe she's like occupied with her works and all. But when we are sending a message saying that, ma'am, I have this thing, like, can we connect for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes? She will be available. I mean, I don't know how she's managing that. That is so sweet of you, ma'am. Like, I have no idea, because now also, like, when I'm getting like new opportunities or something, and I wanted to get more clarity about like something, okay, this role will be okay, or like something, if I have some doubts also, I'll connect with her. She will guide. And that's the best thing about this fellowship, because usually for this another fellowships and all, like, because some of my friends did somewhere else and also this alumni thing, they will also get a group, WhatsApp group, and the vacancy related post and everything. But this one-on-one session, they have to pay after some time. But Tashu ma'am is not taking that. So I'm like, I don't know how to say my gratitude, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aarti, for it was really nice, sharing your experience, hearing you also sharing your experience, and thank you so much for taking out time to help other people as well navigating this career transition. Any questions anyone has, please keep on typing your questions in the chat box or on the WhatsApp group, so that we make sure we clarify all your doubts. I'm sure you will have hundreds of doubts, right? Because this is one of its kind program. This kind of program does not exist, right? There are clinical fellowships, etc. But non-clinical career guidance is something that we have never heard about. So it's natural that we will have a lot of doubts. So please allow us to help you understand it much better. Go ahead and type in your questions in the chat box or on the WhatsApp group, and we will make sure that we will address all of your questions. Again, it's a judgment-free area. You can ask any question. All questions are valid. There's no silly question. There's no wrong question. Anything that will help you to make move forward in this career transition journey, we will be very sort of open, and we will be very happy to answer you in any capacity, not just with the fellowship program, but also in general with respect to any non-clinical career transition question that you might have. Please type in all your questions here on the WhatsApp group as well as here in the chat box, and we will address all of them. Let's move to the next fellow. We have Mihika with us. Mihika also graduated very recently. Last week, she was a part of June cohort. So in July, her fellowship also ended along with Vidhi. Hi, Mihika. Can you hear us?
Hi, Tashu. How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Thank you. We would love to know your experience, right? Since you joined the fellowship program versus where you are right now. We would love to know.
So I was feeling very blocked. I do have my own clinical practice. Plus, I am also into a non-clinical career. But I wanted to actually grow my career in that, and I was feeling so blocked with my current role. That is the reason I joined NCDAF. So it is a customizable program, which I can say actually it gets customized according to you, and Tashu does that beautifully. She gives you a lot of examples of roles which you can apply, and that is how you feel very different, as well as you feel free to do your work plus apply towards different roles and get into the roles which suit you. So within 2 months I actually landed up in a different job, and actually I've started the job yesterday itself. And yes, so I am working also at this current moment. Plus you can see Tashu knows I have got a great salary hike, like around 3x plus hike after I joined this program. I was not thinking about the salary hike that much, but yes, I do got that. So this is how, so basically it can be customized according to you guys. And also there are like some issues which are actually hidden inside you, that you do not feel that you have it inside them, but Tashu can point it out, like directly. So like, go ahead guys, give it a try. There is nothing like this, because I can see Tashu working 24/7 and available for me. She is available for me whenever I contact her, and I cracked the interviews. Just giving the numbers, I actually had 4 interviews lined up in the past week, and let's say in the coming week also I might get few more. So
Great.
thank you, Tashu.
Thank you, Mika. Thank you so much for taking out time, and thank you so much for sharing your experience as well. We also have Yashoti with us. Yashoti, we would love to know your experience as well with the fellowship program.
Thank you, Tashu. Hello, guys. Well, as compared to my fellows, I'm still, I won't say that I have received any offers or any job opportunities or anything like that. But still, I would like to tell you that I'm a pediatric dentist by profession, and my husband is an army officer. So I was looking for switching into non-clinical roles since quite a while, but I have never been into that non-clinical sort of a role, and I've always been into just studying, clearing, one thing at a time, and getting into exams, clearing BDS, and then, you're all India, and then my mind has been very, I can say, narrow-minded. It was like not thought about going into this kind of a role until and unless I got married, and I was not able to pursue my specialty as a career. So only now I started, and there was a lot of confusion regarding how to proceed, things to do, and what can I do, what I should not be doing. I had no idea about how to create a LinkedIn, and I had a LinkedIn profile, but I did not know how to optimize it, what all you need to do, and all. There was a lot of confusion in terms of that, and also I did not know anything about the kind of roles that we have, how many roles are there, what exactly any role would mean. So there was a lot of confusion. So when I had joined this fellowship, I was looking for, of course, when you join this fellowship, your first thought is that, I should be landing a job. Okay. But during this fellowship, I have learned to be a little bit more patient. I have understood that before getting into a job, I need to at least upskill myself a little bit in terms of what is required for the kind of job that I'm looking, because I'm looking for a remote job. It is a very, not every job will be a remote job. So I have understood that how I need to upskill myself, what is I need to do, what is that I need to do. So it has been of tremendous help. And I'm sure that you would also get a lot of clarity, and you'll gain a lot of fellows who are in the same boat, so you can help each other out. So it has been a great experience. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much for taking out time, Yashoti, and to again share your experience. I wanted Yashoti also to join, because again we start the whole process like Yashoti said, saying that we want to get a job, but we also need to understand how do we build that muscle to get a job, right? That is the most important part, that we need to learn what it takes to actually reach to a day when I can lift actually 100 kgs, and that is the day we will succeed. But before that, every day when we start lifting heavy, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, those are also huge wins, right? So that you know the pathway to reach the final goal, and in our case to get offer letters. Any other questions? I will lot of you have messaged me personally. Please share the screenshots on the WhatsApp group so that my team can also confirm. Very quickly, please share the screenshot on the WhatsApp group so that my team will take a note of it, and nothing will be missed. Don't worry about it. Your payments have gone through. Just share the screenshot on the WhatsApp group so that we make sure that we are not missing out on anyone. Great. There are multiple questions that we have received. Keep your questions coming. Any question at all, please keep your questions coming and we will address all of them. Can you please tell us again about the timings of the session? 2 to 4 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays for August batch starting tomorrow. And also what happens if someone is unable to attend a particular session, you will get access to all the recordings. Also, in case fellows, if you want to drop off, it's completely fine. If you want to stay back, we would love to have you. But in case you have other work, you want to enjoy your weekend, etc., please feel free to drop off. And thank you so much for taking out time to share your experience with the fellowship program. Great. So you will be able to get access to all the recordings, and that is for unlimited time. We are not doing this just to, again, of course, money is a byproduct in this, but idea is that we genuinely want to help people make this transition possible. We genuinely feel happy when we see that your spark is back, that you start believing that I will be able to make this transition, and we do everything possible to help you achieve that. Next is, do we need to pay money at once? You can do the part payment as well. If in case money is a problem, you can pay 50% now and 50% within next 30 days. Will you share the presentation? We will share the recording of this presentation so that you can go through it. Arjun has asked, I'm currently pursuing medical coding because assigning course interested me, but I don't know if it's future proof, it's not, and how career out of it. That we can discuss during the fellowship program. And seeing these many opportunities, I'm interested in knowing what is the best choice or the correct choice for you. Again, I cannot decide for you today, but definitely in the fellowship program, we will be able to help you decide this through and through. Will you guide us to decide which is best for me? Definitely, we will guide you to decide which is the best fit for you. How much do we need to pay right for the half payment? 3.5K. Yes, 3.5K would be the partial payment. Next is, can I have a brochure regarding what? Divya Jyoti, please go on mute. Mine, can you please put her on mute? Divya Jyoti, can you please go on mute? Thank you. Next is, can I have any brochure regarding what it is so that I can tell my family about it? Again, I have shared the website link in the chat box. You can use that. Next is, I am Ashish, working as an assistant professor in an Ayurveda college. I'm looking for some part-time work apart from regular clinical practice. Let me know the correct time to get in touch. Again, fellowship is the best way to do that. There are a lot of fellows who are actually working part-time as well, along with managing their clinical practice. So that is also completely possible. But again, we need to first understand what are the kind of job roles that we can do part-time as well. Prepare for these job roles, and then only you will be able to make this transition. So there will be 2 sessions per week on the weekends, correct? And will this be one-on-one or a group meeting? Weekend sessions are group meetings 2 to 4 p.m. During weekdays in between 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. we connect for office hours, which are going to be one-on-one. So weekend sessions and then weekday sessions. Weekend sessions are going to be group cohort-based sessions, and weekday sessions are going to be one-on-one sessions. I have shared the link for registering. I'm putting the form directly, or you can directly scan the QR code, Ashish, make the payment, share the screenshot on the WhatsApp group. My team is taking a note of it. Any other questions anyone has? Any other questions anyone has? Please feel free to ask. You have this offer till 12:30. Post that, the fellowship would be 7,999 only. You will still be able to join by today, end of the day. In case you need any extension, anything at all, please let me know on the group itself that I need extension, or in case you want to connect with me one-on-one for the extension, etc., please DM me that I need extension, etc. I'm going to be here for 15 more minutes. Any question that you have, anything at all that you would want me to answer for you, please type in the chat box. In case you want to unmute yourself and speak up, that is also completely fine. I'm mostly working. I'm working on Saturday, Sunday mostly. you will be able to get access to all the recordings. Whenever it's possible, you can join in. Whenever it's not, you will be able to access all the recordings. So that is completely fine. Will you help us till we get placed? Yes, we will help you 100% till you get placed. After you get placed, after you get your first job, second job, third job, again, this is not just about money. It's a very, very small amount of money anyway, right? So it's not like a huge amount of money that you will end up paying. It's a very small amount of money. At the same time, also, you can do the part payment to make it further easier. But idea is to genuinely help people in the best of our capacity. Can I have one-on-one session before proceeding? I will be able to share a link of one-on-one session as well. I think I do have some slots open today. Yes, sharing the link here in the chat box for your one-on-one session, Ashish. Any other questions anyone has? Offer is only valid till 12:30 until unless you have asked for an extension. A lot of fellows have reached out for extension. A lot of participants have reached out for extension. But any other questions anyone has, please feel free to ask. It's a learning space for you to build a career. Any questions anyone has, please feel free to ask. Any questions at all anyone has, please feel free to ask. Any questions anyone has? 100% placement guidance is guaranteed, not placements guaranteed. Placement assistance is guaranteed. That we will be there to guide you through and through. Also on that note, again, we are so much in hurry to reach a job without even understanding it. With this kind of information or the knowledge that we have so far, it's even difficult for IIM Ahmedabad to place anyone. Right? Until unless we don't learn, we are not willing to learn things, we will not be able to make a transition possible. We need to focus on learning, and then we will help you with learning, of course, but also after learning everything, we will be there till you make the transition possible. Any other questions at all? I saw someone working as a financial analyst in a presentation. Do you help with that as well? Definitely, we do help with that as well. Can you extend offer for few more days? Session is starting tomorrow from 2 p.m. That is the maximum I can extend, because then the fellowship will just begin for the August cohort. Any other questions anyone has? Till 12:15. Any other questions anyone has? Any question at all? Again, it's a learning space. Feel free to ask any question that you might have.
Hi, Tashu. This is Dr. Ashish Desai.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Actually, I was in your group for a long while ago. But recently I had joined. This is my first meeting with you, or joining your session. This is the first session. And it is very knowledgeable and very encouraging. And also it is something I see a ray of hope for. I was looking for some part-time jobs, like for some time in the evening. So I think this could be a very useful for me.
Definitely.
So, I was just want to know that what is your mode of action, how do you work with the people, or how do you help in finding the correct? I just
So
want
like
to.
I said, it's an 8-week long program where we have sessions over the weekend. First, we need to learn the roles, understand, and all these sessions, by the way, I think I forgot to mention, all these sessions are also taken by mentors who are actually working in these roles. So you understand everything in depth. Then during one-on-one sessions, we help you to decide which is the right fit for you. Again, we learn how do we prepare for it, and then we get this guidance till you make the transition possible. So it's a mixture of learning and then one-on-one customized sessions, understanding what is working, what is not working, what are the gaps, reviewing, iterating. This is how the process works, Ashish.
Okay, thank you so much. I will looking forward to register myself
Sure.
for the next
Looking
workshop.
forward to having you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions anyone has? Is it possible to crack a job during the fellowship? You heard a lot of fellows talking about it. It is completely possible to get a job during the fellowship itself. Completely possible. I want everyone to share their screenshots on the WhatsApp group so that my team can take a note of it. But any other questions anyone has, please feel free to ask. Next batch is starting tomorrow, 2 p.m. August batch is starting tomorrow, 2 p.m. August batch is starting tomorrow, 2 p.m. After that, you will not be able to register for the cohort, because once the cohort starts, then it becomes very difficult to accommodate new fellows because there's a whole process, induction, etc. that happens. But any questions anyone has, any question at all, please feel free to ask. Okay. In case there are no questions, I'm again here till 12:10, not 12:15, because I see less questions. And then I'll drop off. But everyone who is still there on the call, we have a special gift for you. We have curated a resource sheet which is available for free, and all the courses that you will see within that are also available for free. On the WhatsApp group, please type in that I stayed till end of the session, and please share resources so that we know that these are the fellows who stayed till the end on the WhatsApp group, so that my team can track you and also share the resources directly with you one-on-one. I have received more payments, but I have received less screenshots on the WhatsApp group. Everyone who has made the payment, please share your screenshot on the WhatsApp group. Great. Shana has stayed till the end of the session. Great. Before we depart, last thing, what is one key takeaway that you're walking away from today's session? Please type it in on the WhatsApp group. Any WhatsApp group that you're a part of, what is one key takeaway that you're walking away with? What is one key takeaway? Okay, Shana has more question. I have seen few doctors working as an intern for few opportunities. Do intern have the same pay like other higher designations? Again, when we make a transition to an exponentially new area, Shana, then sometimes we start as an intern. It also depends on the kind of experience that you have had so far, right? But again, interns get paid little less for sure. But it doesn't mean that you will stay as an intern for a really long time. You will stay intern for, let's say, 2 to 3 months, and then you will be converted into a full-time job role. But it also depends on the role, and then we will guide you through that. I would want everyone to share one key takeaway that you're walking away with. We have spent 1 hour together, more than 1 hour together. We must have taken something with us, right? We must have taken something back with us. Yes, we will definitely guide you, Vishali, that which is the right fit for you. Don't worry, we will guide you through and through. a ray of hope and motivated to make a transition. Awesome. I would love to know from everyone, what is one key takeaway that you're walking away with? Key takeaway is that there are many opportunities. It is just we need to have a thorough understanding, and we need to have a support of our people. Great. Till 12:30 offer is valid. After 12:30, unless you have texted me personally for an extension, offer will not be applicable. The program cost would be 7,999 and not 6,999. Hope that we still have opportunities to explore. Very beautiful. Thank you so much. Great. Everyone who is okay, confidence that I can get into the best, got to know about so many opportunities. Knowledge is power, and the more we know about the different fields, the better decisions we can make. That is absolutely amazing, Ratna. I have shared a free resource sheet in the chat box as well. Please feel free to go through it. And in case we can be of help to any of you at any point in time, my DMs are always open. I'm again sharing my number in the chat box. In any possible way, if I can help you build a great career, I would be very, very happy to be a part of your journey. Anything that I can help you to make progress in that direction, anything that you feel that I really feel that I can do very best, but something is stopping me and I don't know how to navigate it, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to be a part of journey. I'll be very, very honored to talk to you, to learn about your journey, to help you in any possible way. With that, we will wrap up today's session. Thank you so much for joining in, and I hope this added value in your journey. Again, in case you have any further questions, anything at all, please feel free to reach out. Next cohort is starting tomorrow at 2 p.m. and the offer is valid till 12:30. In case money is a problem, please reach out to me. In case availability is a problem, please reach out to me. In case you feel very low in confidence, reach anything that I can help you to make this transition possible, to help you go back to the version or to help you build a version that you would feel really proud about. I would be very, very happy to be a part. I would be very, very happy to have that conversation with you. And with that, we will wrap up today's session. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care and have a lovely remaining day. Vishali, go ahead, please.
It was by mistake, ma'am. Sorry. Thank you for the session, ma'am. It was lovely. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for joining in. Please feel free to drop off. We have concluded the session. And in case you have any questions, you can type in your question. Do you have any questions, Deepa? Okay, there is a one-on-one session request that I have got. I will share the link. Great. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care.